Hello, welcome to this Mercury retrograde reading on, it's being filmed on May 11th, 2022. But if you found it at another time, then there's probably something in this message for you. Hang on one second. So we're not distracted by the traffic going by. So I've been wanting to film some readings for the last couple of days, but I've just been up in my head and feeling super anxious and I don't have everything ready, or, I don't have the right setup, et cetera, et cetera. And I just decided I can't worry about that anymore. My hair isn't dry. I'm at my kitchen table, and but I just feel this urge, this pull, whatever, to do a reading. So for whoever needs it, I hope that you found it. Obviously you did if you're here. So anyway, so I don't even know what's going to come out. We're just going to pull the cards and see what message Spirit, the universe, angels, ancestors, whoever your spirit team has for you on this Mercury retrograde. And perhaps once I do the reading, I'll be able to change the title to be more specific to what message comes out. So without further ado, let's read the cards. Okay, I'm going to turn this down so you can actually see the cards as I shuffle them and lay them out. Just excuse the mess behind me. All right. I promise I'm going to work on a better setup soon, guys. But sometimes, sorry, it's backwards. The message just needs to come out when it needs to come out and go from there. I don't even have all my cards unpacked. So this is just a new deck I got, which I love. It's called the Pulp Tarot. But I don't have any clarification cards or oracle cards or anything like that for this reading. It's just going to be straight tarot. Woo! Interesting. Okay. All right. I can see these. The card that flew out over here to the side is the Ten of Cups. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. So this, you could be a Pisces, but the bottom of the deck energy really just represents kind of what's going on underneath everything. And for the Hangman to come out, to me, what that indicates is that you have been very patient and waiting and sacrificing for someone or some situation. Okay, so that's the overall like subconscious energy, is this energy of self-sacrifice and patience in hopes that it will eventually pay off. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. All right. Okay, so to start out, we have the King of Cups in the reverse, then the Ten of Pentacles, Temperance reversed, and Judgment. I love these cards. They're so cool. They're like retro movie magazine posters. And then we have the Page of Wands in the reverse, the Seven of Wands. You can see that okay. The Devil reversed, Nine of Cups reversed, Ten of Wands reversed. Okay. All right, just a minute here. Okay, so what's going on? All right, so like I said, the underlying energy of everything is patience, waiting, sacrifice. I'm wondering if it's going to pay off. Usually when the Hangman comes up in reverse, I mean, upright, not reverse, it indicates that what you are sacrificing and being patient for is actually going to pay off. So that's very positive. Also, you have the Ten of Cups over here. Now, this kind of flew out off to the side, or actually fell on the floor. So I feel like this is something that you really want, and you're actually putting a lot of energy into it. The Ten of Cups is a card of complete emotional fulfillment, love, happy ever after. It's really just that, like, everything's going to be okay, and it's going to be better than okay. You're going to be completely emotionally fulfilled, in love, happy. You got everything you want. So the fact that this flew out and ended up on the floor, I feel like this is really where you're moving towards, and what you really, really want. And you're actually putting a lot of forward moving energy towards that, which is great, because I believe in the law of attraction, and what we think about, we kind of call into our existence. So this is great energy for if what you want is your happy ever after. Now let's talk about the actual reading and what Mercury retrograde might have in store for you. So typically Mercury retrograde is a time where there are communication difficulties. There's lessons from the past that kind of resurface, almost as like a test to see if we've learned what we were supposed to learn the last time things went retrograde. So those are all things to keep in mind. So I feel like this is kind of past energy, and this is present. And we'll maybe pull a couple more cards to see what the outcome is going to be. But in the past, what we have up here, we have the King of Cups in the reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like you've been dealing, or this could be you, it's a masculine energy. There is no gender in tarot, so it's just masculine, feminine. But the King of Cups is someone who's trustworthy and emotionally available and kind and loving. And cups are all about emotions and love and emotional fulfillment. And if you've been dealing with a masculine, if it was upright, that would be the masculine embodiment of that. However, this is reversed. So a lot of times when that comes up, what that indicates is that there's somebody who has been untrustworthy, dishonest, perhaps. They could have been emotionally manipulative and controlling. And I feel like this is either someone that is like a boss figure or someone you work with, because you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is all about wealth and stability, or it could be someone that you were in a relationship with or married to, or a father figure that ultimately all they cared about was money and wealth. And generally this is a positive card. However, it's between the King of Cups reversed and Temperance reversed. And so there was a lack of balance here. and someone who was quite maybe manipulative and I don't want to say greedy, because they had a lot of wealth and maybe they gave it away. But there was a lack of balance. It was all about money, wealth, stability, material things. And there was no love or genuine emotional fulfillment or love there around this person. And I feel like, I mean, right here, you've got this, he calls out to me. So some of you are dealing with definitely an older male figure, someone with white hair, someone that's older. Maybe they have 2 dogs. This is like a grandfather figure, or definitely a boss energy. But it's an older masculine energy. Now, it could be you, and you were lacking balance in some way. But for most of you, it's going to be someone that you've been dealing with, or someone you dealt with in the past. Whatever the situation was, it may have not felt fair, especially with that temperance being out of balance. But there was, or there will be, an element of karma, if you will, or a balancing of the scales, because you have judgment right after all of this. So the judgment card is all about taking accountability for your own actions. It's about kind of making amends if needed to be, but it's really about like a balancing of the scales. It's not justice would be a little bit more like karmic, if you will, like karmic retribution. Judgment is more about just everybody seeing their own part in the roles that they play in the life that they create. So it's like an awareness and an awakening of kind of where you're at and your role and everything. So whether this is this person, it may not be, it could just be that you woke up and you saw how things really were. You saw things for what they were. And, you know, I think as a result, you have separated from this person or this situation. And if you haven't, I think that that's coming. Okay. So next, so this I would say is more like present to future energy down here, generally how my spreads go. So perhaps there was this awakening, this reckoning, this realization of the roles that everybody played in the situation, and that actually kept you or brought things to a halt. So we have the Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands is, pages are very young energy. They're very optimistic. They're passionate. The wands represent fire and passion and excitement, things like that. A lot of times the Page of Wands indicates a travel or a journey, like stepping out into a new journey that you're passionate about, you're fiery about. However, this is in the reverse. So I feel like this whole situation up here brought any kind of excitement towards forward movement, towards travel, towards following your dreams, pursuing your passions, to a halt, because it's in the reverse. There was a stop there. It's almost like, yeah, it kept you from moving forward, or you've been stuck and unable to move forward at this point. Now, I really like the rest of the spread though, because the next 2 cards you have are the 7 of Wands and the Devil in reverse. So the 7 of Wands card, this is my haters gonna hate card. It indicates, it comes after the 6 of Wands, which is all about victory, success, being in the public eye maybe, and just being recognized for like winning. It's a victorious card. So anytime that happens in life, not anytime, but a lot of times when that happens in life, you have haters. You have people that are not going to want to see you succeed. They're going to try to bring you down. And for whatever reason that is, it's usually something internal inside of them. So a lot of times when we're successful, there's people that are going to try to bring us down. Haters going to hate. However, when this shows up in the upright, you've got an advantage. You've already been victorious. You've already been successful. You can see he's up here and he has an advantage to all these ones that are coming at him. And it may take some time and some creative battling, if you will, but you will be victorious. And more proof of that is that the Devil comes up in reverse. And when the Devil shows up, this just indicates being chained to something that we know is not good for us. A lot of times it can indicate like codependency, it can indicate addictions, it can indicate any of those things. It's just being tied or bound or chained to something that we know is not serving us. It's actually causing us harm. When it shows up in the reverse, it indicates detachment from this, which is awesome. We are all striving to detach from behaviors and people and situations, hopefully, that are bringing us down. And if we aren't, we need to think about that. What are we trying to do? Why are we self-sabotaging? So with this showing up in the reverse, I feel like you're detaching. You're going to be victorious. It's going to maybe take some struggle and you might have some haters, but you're detaching from whatever toxicity, whatever negative entity, person, situation, behavior has been holding you back, bringing you down. You're detaching from that. Now, moving into the future, you've got the 9 of Cups reverse and the 10 of Wands reverse. So the 9 of Cups, this is a card about wish fulfillment. It's about getting real clear on what it is you want and calling that. When it shows up in the reverse, it can indicate 2 things. It can indicate that you're not getting what you want or you don't know what you want. And I feel like that this is more the case for most of you. You're not really sure what you want. You don't know what it is that you truly want. So the message here would be to get really clear on that. And then you have the 10 of Wands reverse, which indicates this struggle, burdens, carrying things that are not your own, especially if you're this energy, you know, you've been sacrificing and giving up on a lot of your own dreams for someone else. You've probably carried a lot of their burdens, and with it being reversed, you're going to be able to put those down. Whether that's because you decide that they're no longer worth it, or you're just tired, or you just can't do it anymore. You know, when those burdens fall away, it opens up room for you to actually get really clear on what it is that you do want, what it is you want to bring. And I really believe that that's your happy ever after, because this just kind of flew out but it was on the floor. And so to me, it indicates that like, this is what you really want, and it's where the energy of your soul is really trying to propel you towards, but there's a lot that's kind of holding you back from that and keeping you from actually achieving that. And it's probably being tied to this toxic person in your past, but you're breaking that chain and you're breaking that connection. And that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let's just see if we can get a couple more cards, maybe on where to go from here, some advice, and then I will wrap this up. All right, Spirit, where do we go from here? What does the viewer need to see as far as advice? What to do next? What are the next steps? Okay. All right. Okay, so we have the Hermit reversed, the Moon, and then the Queen of Pentacles, Death reversed, and the Six of Wands reversed. So, okay. Here you go. Aren't these cards awesome? I'll show you in the upright so you can see them. Queen of Pentacles, Death, and Six of Wands, but they're all reversed. Okay, so we'll talk about that. All right, so where do we go from here? So first thing you have out is the Hermit and the Moon. Okay, both major arcana, big energy. So when the Hermit shows up in reverse, what this indicates to me, if you've been in a period of isolation and you've really withdrawn and you've gone into a hermit mode to figure out what it is you truly want and what lights your path and where you're going, then when this comes up in reverse, it indicates that it's time to come out of that isolation. if that hasn't been the case, if you haven't gone within, if you haven't done that soul searching, if you haven't isolated, it can be an indicator that it's time to do that. But usually what it means is that someone's been in a period of isolation and it's time to come out of that, to step out of the shell, to come out of that hermit energy. It's safe. Now, interestingly enough, you have the moon after that. And what the moon indicates is something that there's still some things that are hidden from you. There's still some uncertainty. I'm being urged to say it's okay. It's okay to step out, even though things are uncertain, because and the moon can still illuminate the way, even if there's still shadows. Okay. So we've also got a full moon coming up in just like 5 days. So there could be something around that. But just know that you're going to be okay when you come out of this isolation. And that even though there's shadows and there's still some darkness and there's still some things that are unknown, it's going to be okay. Now, this also can indicate that there's, obviously most of us have like shadow work to do. So maybe look at addressing some of those things that come up in the shadows. And then lastly, you have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Death reversed, and Six of Wands reversed. So this is an urging to surrender. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles, when it's reversed, it indicates someone that's like this. It's a feminine energy that's actually quite controlling, especially with material things. And so I feel like there might, because you were dealing with this up here, there's a tendency for those kind of behaviors to kind of rub off on us. And so it's like, if you were the opposite and you're around someone that was just concerned about money all the time and they were a little bit controlling or manipulative around it, a lot of times that can rub off on us, and the pendulum can swing the other way. So be aware of any kind of controlling behaviors that you might have around material things. Okay. That all stems from fear. And with the Death card being reversed and the Six of Wands, there's a part of you that is resistant to change and resistant to being successful. There's an internal fear around being victorious, being successful. And there's a resistance towards the change and transformation that is going to put you in this energy. So that is probably the shadow work that needs to be done. So really think about addressing the limiting beliefs that you have regarding your success, your independence, your material. It's that whole scarcity mindset. Okay. So you could look up things like abundance mindset, limiting beliefs, anything like that. And it's really the best way to change those beliefs is to just become aware of them. And then when we have them, we can question them. So if you have, for example, if you have the thought, I'll never have enough money on my own, you can stop yourself and say, is that true? Well, no, we don't know that that's true. So when you're able to question your thoughts and your beliefs, then you can reframe them and you can say, what if I believe something different? So what if I actually believe that I'll have more than enough to provide for me, my family, my friends, my community, etc. And then you start to train your brain to think that way. So it's flipping the script. So anyway, I feel like that's a message for some of you, that's really what needs to be addressed in the shadows as you come out of this hermit mode. Try to, nip that fear in the bud. And eventually I think you're going to get to this. This is where you really want to be, the 10 of Cups, the happy ever after, and it's coming. It's where the universe, spirit, God wants you to be. So work on changing those limiting beliefs in the meantime. All right, that's the message I have for you. I hope that it helps someone, anyone, everyone. And I truly wish you the best. Take care.